So this dude in the chopper right now is like 20-3, and I spawn back in, and I'm like, I declare it. I call my shot. I'm like, all right, I'm killing this chopper when I spawn back in, and boom. And that was actually one of my more impressive chopper snipes because I've never gotten one with a silenced bolt action with a 3.4 times zoom that far away. So I was actually pretty psyched about that because, yeah, I did call my shot. But what's going on, guys, in the works? And I am doing some recon work today, and we're going to talk about hacking because something about this game is going to relate to that because at the end of this game, I get booted from it for being, quote, a hacker, and it kind of just made me laugh because obviously I'm not hacking, and it's a pretty good gameplay. I mean, it was ruined by the fact that the dude bounced me, you know, the admin got butthurt and decided to bounce me on the very last objective right as I kill somebody, and ooh, look at that psychedelic transition. But yeah, he decides to boot me on the very last objective, and I was kind of actually peeved off a little bit because, and I unlocked the M40 for the third time. My game's glitched for some reason, and I keep unlocking the M40 over and over, even though I'm not actually unlocking it. I don't know. Have you guys ever seen that happen? Like, I already have. Like, I'm almost to the Barrett, and I've unlocked the M40 like 4 times. So I don't know. Weird transition there, but yeah. These guys got butthurt because I had a 12 KD on the last objective, and apparently that is too high for the server, and you get booted within a certain time into the game. So really makes no sense because it isn't that far-fetched that I could be, you know, 12-0, which I am whenever he kills me. So actually I think I might have 1 death. So I get booted for having a pretty reasonable score. I mean, granted, we are plowing this team right now. This is a very quick game. You know, I've cut it down to 6 minutes. I barely cut out anything. I just cut out some walking time because, you know, we are just tearing this team up. We are doing some teamwork, which, you know, I like to see in Battlefield, especially when I'm playing Recon. And I've been playing Recon a lot lately. I've picked it back up, and you guys probably know that I do play a lot of Recon. In fact, it is my favorite class, and I'm switching between the 4 times zoom, I believe, and the 7 times zoom. I switched to the 7 times zoom on these last 2 objectives just because it is some longer lines of sight. I like to use something below, you know, 8 or below on most maps, other than like maybe Oman or some of the wide open maps. I will use the ballistic scope, but I do like to use the lower power zooms. It allows me to be a little bit more aggressive because I like to push when I play Recon, and it makes it a lot easier to see, you know, to see people within that area versus, you know, having this giant scope on. It just makes it hard to aim at people when they get in close to you. So you can see we're just really pushing this team back, and this was some good Recon work on my end. I like to play Recon a little bit differently than I used to. You know, I used to be all about just pushing forward and playing really aggressive, but I've played a little bit differently as of late. I've kind of toned it back a little bit because I'm waiting to see. I'm working more on my accuracy versus forcing myself to be aggressive, if that makes any sense, because I found that I was starting to do really poorly because I was just trying to force myself into situations where I was not going to succeed. And I've tried to tone it back a little bit because you don't have to be an idiot when you play, you know, a little bit more aggressive with Recon. So I'm kind of working on that. I'm really anxious for the patch with the one-hit kill stuff within, you know, what is it, 20 meters. So that'll be a breath of fresh air. It'll probably reinvigorate the aggressive Recon series, and I'll probably bring that back. But right now I'm just working on being an effective Recon player because Recon does have a bad rap. You know, a lot of people talk bad about Recon. You know, they think that there's players that sit in the back of the map and they don't plan objectives, but I'm here to tell you Recon can be effective on attack. And oh man, that guy owned me. What was that, the jackhammer? Oh, I can appreciate the jackhammer. That's a real man's weapon. I mean, not only does it sound awesome, it looks awesome, and it's not really that good. I mean, it's just mediocre in my eyes. And luckily we've got some suicide medics on my team. And C4, wasn't expecting that, but I'm back from the dead again for the second time, rising like the phoenix. But yeah, I mean, Recon has this notion that Recon players are, quote, lazy. They are players that don't play the objective, which, you know, it's probably true for the majority of Recon players, but Recon can be effective on rush. You can be an attack Recon player and still do well. And I think this is a good game that kind of highlights this. So you see we've moved up here, and this is actually the couple shots coming up here is what gets me kicked from the lobby. You'll see I go on a headshot spree, and that was my first warning because I got some headshots. Like right there, I was accused of wall hacking by the admin because I went back and I think I cut that part out, unfortunately, where he's actually talking to me in the chat. He accused me of wall hacking right there, even though it was pretty obvious that, you know, I could see him. But this little scenario coming up here is what ultimately gets me booted from this server, which kind of sucks because, you know, if you're playing Recon, aren't you supposed to get headshots? Isn't that to be expected? I mean, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Some admins, you get into servers just full of admins, full of jerks, basically. So this was one of them, unfortunately for me. But this is the end of a good run. You'll see I'll get my last kill here, and as I get my last headshot, I get booted from the lobby. But what are you going to do? I mean, you're bound to run into these situations if you play this game a lot. It was the first time it's ever happened to me. I know a lot of my buddies are actually banned from servers for being, quote, hackers, even though they're just good players. So right there, boom, get that headshot, and the admin's like, all right, I've had enough of you, you're out of here. And I take this final pop shot here, and boom, I'm gone. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I will see you guys next time. Peace.